What's going on, YouTube? Painting time. I didn't know what I was going to do yet. I've been toying with some ideas, and I never really know how I'm going to paint a rig until I get to the store and I'm looking at all the paints. And something always jumps out at me, and I have that eureka moment. And the K5 is no different. I was going into it. I know I want a white top. I know I want a brown interior. And like K5's, the bottom of the dash and some of the door panels are painted body color. So I know kind of some of the guidelines I had, but I didn't have a real set color. So for my top, I've gotten this off-white, and I think I'm going to do a two-tone. This is shell white, Rust-Oleum satin. I went with all satins because I'm planning on weathering this a little bit. And for my body color, summer squash satin. I've had really good experiences with this Rust-Oleum 2x ultra cover painter's touch stuff. It sprays on really thick, really even. It's a primer and paint in one, and as it says on there, it also bonds to plastic. It's fast drying. It's been really good paint. I've used that on my Hilux in the background. I used it on my Cruiser. That color was Satin Lagoon. And the satin finish, it gives it that look like it used to be shiny, but it's still coarse enough that it'll take to weathering really well. The powders and stuff will really stick with it. So that's my plan for the body. I've got this color. This is warm caramel. Not going to do it all one color. I've got some tans and some other shades of brown that I may try to mix in. But I got this mainly for the Amigo interior. I'm going to use that for one of the accent colors as well. So kind of mix it up. If you look at the interiors on these Blazers, you've got the bottom of the doors inside or body color. The bottom of the dash is body color. Then you have your dash pad, and your seats and your console are the color of the dash pad, the door panels, and so on. So yeah, that's my plan. I guess the first step here is I've got to strip the body down. I'm going to hit it with some Scotch-Brite because it is really glossy, smooth finish right now, and I don't like painting directly onto that type of finish. And I've got to come back and clean up some burrs, like this little spot right here where there was a tab to support the windshield. And there's going to be some little tabs and stuff like that on the tailgate pieces and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with scuffing this thing up. Alright guys, so I took it down with some Scotch-Brite. Got the, you can see I got a light directly on it. It's not nearly as shiny as it used to be. I'll show you up next to the other one. So I got the little gleam off of it. I need to go wash everything down. We'll tell you to be careful with this. This is a very fragile area up here. When I was taking that tab off, it was easy to get messed up, so I had to file and kind of reshape that to smooth it back out, that whole edge. Just took a little bit back off of it, not much. But first step I'm going to do when I get outside, well, I've got to wash it and let it dry. And then I'm going to start painting the inside of everything, but the body, I'm going to do the sides white because I am going to do a two-tone. And I need white, and then once the white dries, we'll come back and tape off our two-tone section, and then we'll hit it with the main yellow color. And on these, this is roughly a 77, 8, 9, maybe an 80 body style. I think 76, they had the full soft top. It was the last year that they had the full convertible top, so you wouldn't have had the roof over the cab. 77 or 8, they went to this with just the top on the back. But it still had the single headlight front end, the 70s style front end. It wasn't until the early 80s, 82, 83, that they went to the big square grille with the quad headlight look, and did away with this little line right here. Another thing I was able to do it with the Scotch-Brite, but the body line, the molding, the casting marks, you can still see it right there a little bit they're pretty heavy on this side. I don't shoot for perfection, so I got it a little bit. I hit it with the Scotch-Brite and smoothed it over, but yeah, I'm not going to do much more with it. It's going to be painted and weathered, so you won't really be able to see it. I never really do much more work on those than that. Just, you know, it's getting too detailed for body work for that size. I'm not that good at it, so that's as far as I'll take it. It won't be as noticeable once you paint it. So, yep, I'm going to go hose this stuff off and get it outside and let it start drying. Alright guys, in the meantime, I got that drying outside. I'm going to paint my lenses. Usually takes, I don't know, 3 or 4 coats. I've got these old Testors paints. This is Stoplight Red Metallic. And then this is Turn Signal Amber Metallic. And I'll just start and paint these on the inside. And just do light coat after light coat until they get the transparency that I'm happy with. Cardboard is stuck in on the bottle. Alright. I need a rag. There we go. So I'm just going to do the front blinkers and the side markers orange and the tail lights all red. And you can see this stuff's pretty thin. That's why it takes so many coats. It's much easier to do this while they're on the parts tree still. Try not to get it on the other sides, the front side. Try to get it even. It's hard to get it even until you get a couple base coats on there. It wants to run down. I'll let that one dry and red for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do the first coat of the orange. And I've got my air compressor airing up. I'm going to go outside and blow those bodies dry, that body part dry, and get that white coat on there. Alright guys, I guess I don't know, this white paint was a little bit different. It's just a standard Rust-Oleum satin. It's not the ×2 coverage, whatever BS they put on there. And yeah, it got a little runny. It's like maybe I didn't shake it enough. So the hardtop came out good. I've got the hood painted, the interior painted, the brown. I didn't realize until now that this didn't have interior door panels. I've been looking forward to doing detail on door panels that I don't have. So this is still a little tacky. I might have to let it dry a while longer before I can sand it down and respray the white. And then we gotta let it dry again and tape off this two-tone line. And then spray our yellow. The yellow's drying quick. The yellow's the kind of paint I've been used to. That's still just a hair tacky. I put 3 heavy coats on that. Give that a little bit longer, and then I'm going to tape off the halfway point and do the top half the brown to match the interior. And then I can come back and paint the chrome details, vents, and whatnots. So that's how the real K5s are. The bottom splits about here, the size of the vents, and that piece there, and that's all body color on the bottom. And then the top, this will be silver, and then the gauges and stuff, the vents will be black, this trim will be silver, and then the rest of it's going to be the brown color of the interior for the dash pad. Yeah, this white paint's taking so long to dry, it's probably not going to happen tonight. So I'm going to make this a long-term video. But I did get my lenses painted. The orange came out good the first coat, so I didn't put any more on those. The red's still a little lumpy. We'll let it dry a lot longer. You see it ran all to one end, so I may have to come back and do another coat of the red. But yeah, it's looking alright. That stuff takes forever to dry, that Testors paint. So in the meantime, I guess I will do some work on something else when we're sitting around waiting on paint to dry. Alright guys, so in the kitchen I've got about 5 coats of yellow on the other body. I got tired of waiting on the white to dry, so I went ahead and did the base coat first. And on this body, and I got the other one sanded. I don't know why I'm going to paint that yet. I'm just going to put it aside. So I'm going to let this sit overnight and then come back and try to do the two-tone and see how that turns out. I wanted to show you the interior. It's pretty much dry. It came out glossier than I thought. It's supposed to be a satin. It's got a little sheen to it, so still a little tacky. Here's the dash so far. I'll let it dry more. Did have a little run on the top, but not too bad. Let that brown dry overnight as well, and then we'll come back and do with the paint marker, do the silver trim and some black accents, put the gauge stickers in and all that. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do about the floorboard. I'm thinking I'm just going to use some of my black felt that I use to make carpet and just do a carpet, because you're not going to be able to see a whole lot of it. So I'm going to do some carpet down in here, and then we can come back and weather once we put the backs of the seats on. Come back with some black wash and try to dull it down a little bit, get some of the shine off of it. But yeah, let me show you the hardtop too. It's still really tacky. I don't know why that white paint just doesn't want to dry. It's starting to. It's been several hours. It came out pretty good. I've got one little imperfection on the back side. A little bit of bubble in here where I was trying to spray underneath and I accidentally caught the edge of it, so I got way too much on one spot. But yeah, that off-white, that eggshell white, I think is going to look good. On camera it looks pretty white, but in person you can see it's kind of a off-white. So I'm excited to see how it comes out on the two-tone. I don't have to wait till tomorrow to do that. Alright guys, it's day 2. My paint is dried. Got a nice satin finish. All the imperfections and trouble we were having have gone away, so it's time to start doing the two-tone. Let me see, I've got the driver's side all masked out. I'm using this vinyl pinstriping tape. Some of my corners keep trying to bubble up, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on those. Rounded corners anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and hopefully we can get some paint on this to look good today. Alright guys, here it is. For the most part, I just kind of mocked it up. I still need to let it dry for another day. Even the yellow's still a little tacky, so I want to make sure I don't mess it up any more than I have already. But I got the two-tone, and I did it as close as I could to the stock look. So that body line curves back, and then you have that line all the way down, and on the rear it angles up towards the bottom of the fender where the bumper is. And I've got the tailgate in the other room, and it's painted across the bottom to line up perfectly. So that's where we're at. Wrap this long video up, and once this dries we'll start looking at weathering. It may take a couple days, let it set, because it's still a little gummy. I mean, you can touch it without leaving a fingerprint, but it's still a little bit tacky. If you hit it with your fingernail it'll scrape. But luckily we're weathering it, so the few scrapes I got unmasking it won't really hurt it. So the next video you'll probably see will be about these. Most likely. Got to do some reconfiguring, and it's gotta have a V8 in it. It's 80 Chevy. So, anyways, thank y'all for watching, and stay tuned. Got a lot more to come.